Here we go again. Take two, Vegas Sports Nation. It's me, the Bat Fry. I'm all frazzled and messed up right now. The internet just dropped out for whatever reason. Normally does not happen, but here I am. Hopefully it stays on. If it drops out again, well, then I'm going to have to say the hell with it, and I'll have to try again maybe tomorrow or another day. But I'm not 100% sure as to why it dropped out. I know my youngest daughter is watching Naruto on another TV. I don't think Naruto is messing with my interweb or nothing like that. So I don't know. I'm all messed up now. So the draft is all over with. The draft is always exciting because it gives your team hope, it gives your team promise. And then normally as a Raider fan, you're kind of let down. Years past, it's been a head scratcher after a head scratcher. Sometimes they'd make the right call, but then something would happen, like Khalil Mack. They end up trading him away. So it's the draft. It gives you hope, and everybody wants a little hope. Everybody. So let's go into round one here. You see the ticker at the bottom. I have rolling. It's Raiders picks from the first 4 rounds. I couldn't fit any more into that ticker, and I didn't want to create another ticker for it because it just I'd be flipping tickers back and forth, and it's not really productive then. But anyway, first round we take with our 7th pick, we take Tyree Wilson, defensive end out of Texas Tech. Very excited for this. I was hoping they'd go defense. I was hoping for Gonzalez or Witherspoon. Witherspoon was already taken a couple picks before, and so I was hoping Gonzalez or Jalen Carter to be honest with you, because he was the other big name out there. But I heard a lot about Tyree Wilson. He was ranked number 1 at his position. There he is. What's up, Adam? I'm all frazzled here. I don't know if you've seen the take 1 of the show. Internet dropped out on me. I was like 2 sentences in. Oh, that's frustrating. I was frustrated. I hope you're having a good night, buddy. So a defensive end out of Texas Tech, Tyree Wilson. He was ranked number 1 at his position, according to ESPN. I think he was ranked number, I want to say 9 overall, but I could be wrong. But super happy with this. 6'6", 270. From the profiles I read, Adam said he did see the take 1. Oh man, it's embarrassing. You just can't perform. Your performance issues, and anyway. From the scouting reports I read, long arms, very powerful, able to shed blocks, good power moves, sets the edge very well for the run. Last season, he generated pressure on 18% of his rushes, which was 18% of the rush attempts on the quarterback, which was second in the FBS. And which is very, very impressive. He's fast, and it gives us a little bit of depth at rusher, which is we very much struggled at last year. Mad Max, of course, was himself. Terrific. High motor, go. Chandler Jones, as much as you want to say he had a terrible year with only 4 sacks, it wasn't as productive as you'd want, but I felt like there was glimpses of Chandler Jones breaking out of the slump that he was in last season. 33 years old, he is getting up there in age, so who knows how much longer he'll actually be around playing at a high level. But I did feel like there were some games where Chandler Jones played where he was very, very good. He did well against the run. We just didn't generate the pressures. We didn't get the sacks. I think we were 27th in sacks last season. Something like somewhere near the bottom. Adam says, good draft. Too bad you couldn't find a way to get Hooker. That'll get you arrested, Adam. Not in it will in Las Vegas because prostitution is not legal in Las Vegas, but I think in the state of Nevada it is. So, So it's very happy with Tyree Wilson. I think all things said, I was surprised. I was very very happy. From what I read from some Raider boards, they didn't expect Tyree Wilson to be there yet. So winner chicken dinner. I was glad Richardson was gone. So we weren't going to get tempted with that banana. So it's the low hanging fruit. We didn't need that. So I'm glad that was gone, and McDaniels didn't jump at that. So moving on, I give that pick an A. Tyree Wilson. Round 2, super excited for this. Michael Mayer, tight end out of Notre Dame. No way I would have thought he would have been there in round 2. Absolutely no way. We moved up in round 2. I think originally we had the 7th pick in round 2. We moved up to the 2nd pick. I don't remember what we gave up. I'm not going to get into all the specifics of the trades unless it involved a player, and it did not. So they were all picks, moving picks here, moving picks there. We started off the draft with 12 picks. We ended up with 9 after all was said and done, because in the later rounds we were moving up a bunch. So Michael Mayer, even though we signed O.J. Howard, Austin Hooper in this offseason, neither one of them are great receiving tight ends anymore. Not like what Darren Waller was. I don't think Mayer's going to replace Darren Waller, but I think Mayer has the potential of being a very good receiving tight end. He does, from what I read, he does find the soft spots and zones and is able to settle and sit down, which is great. Create separation because he's big, strong, and powerful. 6'5", 249. Very good route runner. One of the knocks on Mayer that I heard on TV today I heard it on XM Radio, Sirius XM Radio. I think it was the NFL Network. They said that he wasn't a very good blocker. And some of the stuff I read online said he got better this season at blocking. He's very tenacious blocker. So maybe he puts a little bit of weight on, get up to closer to 260. Bigger frame. He might improve in blocking. But O.J. Howard, I don't know for sure, but I think O.J. Howard is a decent blocking tight end. Austin Hooper's more of a receiving tight end. If I could be backwards on that. I'm not 100% sure. Adam Glenn again, our boy, for taking Mayer. This is your last show. I was very excited to get Mayer. Like I said, I didn't think he was going to be there. I in my mock drafts, I don't know if I have them sitting here anywhere, but my mock drafts, I had the Raiders taking Calais Cansey from Pittsburgh. Let me see if I can find my mock drafts here real quick. I'm shuffling papers and looking around, trying to sound important. Let me see here. Anyway, but yeah, I didn't think Hooper was there. I actually thought they might get was it Schoonmaker, who actually I think went to the Cowboys, I believe. Yeah, I can't find it. Damn it! Anyway, I did have it earlier today, and so yeah, I was thinking like Schoonmaker or here it is, or the kid the kid from tight end from South Dakota State. I was thinking also. So yeah. So there was a couple tight ends I had them picking. Like I said, I thought Mayer would be long gone in the first round. Eileen says, I think that's a thumbs up. I can't really see it on here. Oh, it's a wave. It's a wave. Hello. It doesn't show up on the screen very well because it's like white on white there, and at least on my screen it doesn't show up very well. Hello, Eileen. I don't know if you were there for take one of the Vegas sports scene, but it was a disaster. I lost my interwebs connection, and it was panic time. I started sweating. Glasses, my spectacles were fogging up. Like, oh no. So Michael Mayer, I was super excited to get him. I just can't state that enough. That pick I give an A also. It was a position of need, I believe. You missed it. Well, you didn't miss anything. It was like I don't know how long I was on for, but it was like 5 seconds into the show. The spinning circle of death showed up in the middle of my screen. It's like, where the hell did my face go? And I looked down and I could see the internet on my the connection was a big exclamation point. It's like, oh no. And I checked, it was gone. I had to reload it, shut the broadcast down, make up a new broadcast. It was it was something. Oh yeah. Maiko, what's up, Maiko? Says, well. I guess I have to root for the Raiders. Now is my AFC team since Baby Gronk is there, a generational talent. Paul, I have no idea how that man slipped to the second round, but I am grateful that man slipped into the second round. And like you said, Baby Gronk was his nickname, I believe, in college. Paul would know, Maiko would know because he's a Notre Dame fan. And of course, Baby Gronk, I guess adult-sized Gronk, played for Josh McDaniels in New England. So hopefully good things to come. And like everything I read, he's a terrific pass catcher. And like I said on NFL radio, it said that he wasn't great at blocking, but what I've read on online, his blocking got better. So hopefully this is our tight end for the next 10, 11 years. Maybe he's the next I'd love it if he was the next like Travis Kelce, so we can rub it in Kansas City's face. I hate that Kelce. I think Jason Kelce's great. Travis Kelce's a douchebag. I said, yeah, whatever. Plays for the Queefs. Mama Kelce seems to be an attention hog now. I ain't gonna go there. No, I don't want to be. People will be shutting me off here. And everybody loves Mama Kelce. Anyway, we'll move on to the next pick. Eagles and Chiefs fans will be slitting my throat. Round 3, Byron Young, defensive tackle, Alabama. Here's another guy I talked about on one of my past shows. I'd love to see the Raiders get. We have a need at defensive tackle. We did okay against the run last season. There were times where we did very, very, very bad. There were times we did well. So Adam Glentz's mayor was there because the Cowboys don't know how to draft. Oh no, Adam, careful. Maiko says they used him as a wide receiver 90% of the time, split him out wide, slot, you name it. And that's pretty much how the Raiders used Waller a lot of time. He did block a little bit, but blocking was not his strong suit. That's what we had Foster Moreau for. And that's why I said, Austin Hooper and O.J. Howard, could be more blocking guys than anything. Adam, you got to be careful, buddy. Talking about the Cowboys, you might get yourself banned from the from out of the box sports here. You get that asterisk next to your name. That'll be it. So Byron Young, a high motor defensive tackle, another position of need. Undersized a bit at 6'3", 294 pounds. But he played well gap to gap, from what I read. Gap to gap played well at Alabama. Put a nice pressure on up the middle on quarterbacks, which is what we need. All of our pressure has been coming from the outside against quarterbacks. So what does quarterback do? Step up the middle, and they make the pass. And now if you have coming from the outside, if you're collapsing the pocket from the outside and the inside, the dude has nowhere to go. So the mayor of Las Vegas, Vegas Rob, checking in. Greetings, Ken. Pretty satisfied with the Raiders draft. I am absolutely. I just think it's. I think they did well this year. I'll get to my grading later on for the entire draft, but overall, I thought they did pretty well. Adam Glenn says we're all family. Yeah, you're right. We are. And we're just busting balls. Back to Brian Young. He had 47 tackles this past year, 3.5 sacks, 9 quarterback hits, which is great for a defensive tackle. Very good off the ball, quick off the ball, very strong. So it's a great pickup there, and he does do for a smaller defensive tackle. From everything I read, he does do well against the run. So that's a bonus. We have Jerry Tillery there, Neil Farrell, who we drafted last year, Bilal Nichols, John Jenkins, and Matt Butler, who I believe we drafted there last year also. No scores, Robert. No scores. I'm recording it. No scores. None. I don't need that. Distracting me. I'll be cursing and Maiko says, Adam, Cowboys had needs. Their draft was insane. 4 plug-and-play players. I'm happy, plus a Schoonamaker, a great tight end, plus a steal, DeMarvian, Overshone, and Deuce Vaughn in the 6th. And that's I said earlier, Paul, that I thought that I figured Mayer to be gone. I was thinking maybe Schoonamaker to the Raiders later on. Schoonamaker or the kid from South Dakota State. The guy, I think is the one with the no teeth, or was that a lineman? I don't know. But I had written down a South Dakota State tight end also in my menagerie of notes here. So there's Rob says the 1-0 there. I don't need nope, no scores. Michael said, damn, I tried to ban Adam, but it said no, he family to Out of the Box Sports. Lots of love there, Adam. Adam says, what do you think of the Philly Dogs? To be honest with you, everything I heard, Philly did really, really well in the draft. A lot of Georgia players trading for DeAndre Swift from I think it was DeAndre Swift. I could be wrong. From Detroit. So everything I heard, it did very, very. The Eagles did well, but I'm not 100% sure as to what they all drafted. I didn't pay too much attention to the Eagles. Eileen says, I've tried to record games. I just cannot do it. So Eileen, with me working night shift and being fans of West Coast teams, I do a lot of recording, but I can't do it either. I want to see the score right away. I want to see it. And then it's like, then I go try to watch it. I can't. It's like, 'cause I already know what happens. And either I'm really, really pissed or I'm happy and I just can't do it. But here being at home, I figure I record it. I'm not going to look at my phone. I'm not going to look at the my tablet for that. and stuff like that. So I'm just avoiding it altogether. And so yeah. Maiko says Cody Mock from South Dakota State, the toothless slimy. Yeah, there's also a tight end, but I couldn't remember which one had no teeth. It was a lineman or it was a tight end. But there's also a tight end from there that I had written down as on a list, where I thought the Raiders could draft probably 3rd or 4th round, I was thinking. But 2nd round, Michael Mayer, 100 times out of 100. Take that. Danny on Wheels. What's up, Danny? You check him out on Joystick Junkies on Mondays and the Big Blue Power Hour on Fridays, both at 8 p.m. Oilers up 4-0. Yeah. I had to re-put in all my banners there, Danny. 4-0 me. No big deal. Eileen says, yep, I hear you. And she LOLs at Danny because Danny is funny. Tucker Kraft. Okay, that was a tight end. I remember writing that name down now. All right, so Byron Young, like I said, I was super happy. He was one of the guys I had on my list of possible defensive tackles the Raiders could go after. There was 2 Byron Youngs in the draft. This Byron Young went first, and the other Byron Young from Tennessee went a couple picks later, and ESPN had them all fucked up. It was like I'm watching a highlight video. It's like, this is the highlight videos from the dude from Tennessee. Like, it's all Tennessee highlights. And like, okay, let me click on the other Byron Young, who is a different profile picture. I'm like, let me click on his video. Maybe that's the Alabama highlight film, but it was the Tennessee one again. It's like, these people are getting paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to put this crap together, and they blew it. They blew it because there's 2 guys with the same damn name. Come on now, ESPN. Where's the professionalism? So with that pick, I like that pick in round 3. I give that a B. Again, it was a need. It was something that we absolutely need. We need somebody to help with the run game, but also create pressure up the middle, which is so important. Let's see. Danny says, we got a Vol. Was that the other Byron Young? How about pick 101? I don't know who pick 101 was. Pick 100, I know we had. I think that's what Trey Tucker was. The reach, yeah, he was pick 100. So that's where I'm going next. This was my first. What the hell are they doing? There were so many decent players left on the board. There was the offensive tackle from Ohio State. I don't know his last name. I think it was Bowden or Howden or Chowder. I don't know what it was. But he highly rated offensive tackle from Ohio State. There was Zavala. I think he was an offensive guard, I believe. I remember if it was, I think TCU, maybe I could be wrong, or Northwestern. I think he was wearing purple. So one of those teams. And also they had that Keely. I can't think of his Ringo. Keely Ringo. Who highly rated, just sitting there. For the plucking, all needs that we had. We did not have a need at wide receiver, especially this kind of wide receiver. So I'm going to read off the analysis stuff that I've read on him and Hyatt. Okay, that's who you got. Yeah, Jalen Hyatt. I think it was Jalen. It was his first name. 5-1 Rangers. Good for the Rangers. I hope the Rangers win. Like I said, I hope the Rangers can get past the Devils and create a little bit of havoc. I think the Rangers, we're coming in pretty hot. They started off decent against the Devils, and the Devils kind of turned it on against them, but that's why it's a 7-game series, man. If it was a 3-game series, and that'd be something, or a 5-game series, or a 3-game series, that'd be something else, but it's a 7-game series for a reason. So Trey Tucker, 4.440. There it is. That's all you need to know about the Raiders. 4.440. Let's take them. Usually that's the first round. That's the bigger reach. But we took him at pick 100. I think he was rated, like his overall grading rate was like in the 200s. I'm like, what are they doing? A wide receiver we do not need. A small wide receiver. I don't have his height here, but he's a smaller wide receiver, kind of like Hunter Renfrow. So last season, 52 catches, 672 yards, 3 touchdowns, 3 kick return touchdowns in his career, which is pretty good. He's also a punt returner. Like, all right, so maybe special teams and a little bit of receiver stuff. But not so fast, my friend. We also just picked up DeAndre Carter, a return specialist from the Los Angeles Chargers. Why would we do that and then draft the same goddamn player? I don't understand this part of it unless you're looking to trade away Hunter Renfrow. And that's I'll talk about that a little bit later, or I could talk about it now and just skip over it later. That's what I want to talk about now and skip over it later. I think the Raiders are going to trade Hunter Renfrow. It's been talked about probably for almost half a year or longer, maybe even a full year, looking to trade Hunter Renfrow away. I think it's all but done now. It's with us signing DeAndre Carter. I said when we signed DeAndre Carter, who's basically Hunter Renfrow, a smallish receiver, plays inside, punt returner, Hunter Renfrow. He's also a kick returner. It's like why do we need 2 Hunter Renfrows unless they're looking to get rid of Hunter Renfrow? And again, talks were swirling, all before the draft. Even the last couple of days on some Raider boards, I was looking, talk about Renfrow is going to get traded during the draft, blah blah blah. So then we select Trey Tucker out of Cincinnati. It's the same guy as Hunter Renfrow. Runs, does all the inside routes and stuff like that. Does get good separation, catches a deep ball well. All Hunter Renfrow stuff. So I would expect before the season starts sometime, I don't know what the league rules are. Like, you need to have this guy traded here by this time. You can't trade people after this time. I don't know all that stuff. I don't have enough brain capacity to remember stuff like that. So I don't even pay attention to dates and, deadlines and cutoffs and stuff like that. So I do expect Hunter Renfrow to be gone. Eileen says the future Jets Hall of Famer Aaron Rodgers is at MSG, and the Devils changed goalies with 7:32 left in the fourth. I guess you probably mean the third, I would guess, but I'm not 100% sure. Maiko says Tucker is fast in the slot. Hunter might look over his shoulder. I think Hunter's gone. Hunter wasn't a speed burner, but he's super terrific hands, great route runner. And the one thing I love about Hunter Renfrow was his he improvised. I'm not going to say I can't say it. He improvised in his routes, which he and Derek Carr I thought played very very well. And I think one of the riffs that Carr had with Josh McDaniels was Josh McDaniels did not want him throwing 2 improvised routes. He wanted him to throw to the correct route, and that's just not Hunter Renfrow's game. So that's why I think Hunter Renfrow will be gone sooner rather than later. Adam says, let the rebuild begin. No, Adam. Eileen says third, fourth, whatever. It's the last one. It's the last period, last quarter. It's the end. So you're not getting old. I don't know how old you are, actually, Eileen. So maybe you are getting old. I'm not sure. You could be old. I don't know. So yeah, this was the first pick I did not like. I give this pick a D because I feel like there were so many different options at that moment. At the end of round 3, the Raiders could have went needs on the offensive line, secondary needs and stuff like that. So I was not happy. I give that pick a D. A D for damn it. Maiko says, I agree. A younger, faster wide receiver and cheaper 4-year deal. Tucker has better speed on his route tree. Yeah, but I'm not a. You know, this is the guy you probably could have gotten in the 5th round or 4th round. Yeah, before we did all these trades, I think we had 2 4th round, 2 5th round, or was it 1 4th? I think it was 1 4th, 2 5th, 2 6th, 2 7th. So this is somebody that we could have gotten later, but yeah. Adam says, I lend him. I agree. So we'll move on. Maybe he means I like him. I don't know. So then the Raiders go back to needs. They select Jacorian Bennett, cornerback out of Maryland. A pretty cool first name. I'll give him that. Jacorian. I like that. You know, if I have any more kids, I'm going to name one of them Jacorian. But I'm not going to have any more kids. So sorry, Jacorian. But Jacorian Bennett, quarterback out of Maryland. 5'11", 188, ball hawkish skills, 27 deflections, which led the country the past 2 seasons, 5 interceptions, a 4.3 40, very decent size for a cornerback. Almost hitting that 6-foot mark. So I was happy with this pick. I don't know anything about him. I did watch a little bit of film on him after he was picked. It looked like he's a little bit out of position in some of these plays, but that's secondary stuff. I don't know what kind of defense Maryland played, but he did make a lot of plays in the ball. Able to get the balls at their peak. He was able to, I don't want to say out jump, but his anticipation of the ball was very, very good. I thought on some of the plays that I watched, and very good hands. Very good hands. He also played. I think it was man press a lot and did very well there, if I remember correctly. So he's going to fight for time with we got Hobbs, we got Brandon Faison, Amik Robertson, Duke Shelley, who's a big pickup for us this year from Minnesota. So Jacorian Bennett, Adam Glenn says he's old at 44. You are old at 44, Adam. Jacorian Bennett, I think I'd give that a C. Like I said, I don't know a whole lot about him from what I watched on some film, the highlight reel and stuff like that after the Raiders picked him. It's interesting. Some good size. I like. We're not a team that generates a lot of turnovers, so I do like the ball hawking aspect of it. So please, I'll give that a C. So we'll move on to the next pick. Aiden O'Connell, quarterback from Purdue. Somebody, again, I talked about on a past show when I was there was a report out there. There was 5 quarterbacks that were linked to the Raiders. The kid from Fresno State, Haener, the kid from Stanford, Aiden O'Connell, and I don't have that paper sitting here anymore. But anyway, there's 5 of them, and Aiden O'Connell was one of the better ones. He had his completion percentage last season, 63.7%, which isn't great, but it was better than some of these other clowns. 3,483 yards, 22 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. High. I think that's kind of high for college for interceptions, but I don't. Yeah, who am I to judge? Purdue's usually pretty pass happy. 2021, he had a better season. 71.8% completion percentage, 3,712 yards, 28 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. So much better. A bunch of the stuff that I was reading on Aiden O'Connell, he does not have a strong arm. He's not very mobile either. So I mean, it's kind of like against the Raiders, the Raider way there. You know, you usually get a big arm quarterback. You know, the whole mobility thing, whatever. Usually, that's the first thing we look at in a quarterback is the big arm. We need a big arm guy to throw the deep ball. He doesn't throw the deep ball very well. Does not throw sideline to sideline very well either because he just doesn't quite have the zip on the ball. Is that something that McDaniel can coach him up on? I don't know. He's supposed to be some sort of quarterback genius. So they all say that they are. You know, if you're an offensive coordinator, you're a quarterback whisperer. Which is a joke. You know, in my opinion, either they have it, they don't have it. Maiko says, Aiden O'Connell, I'm puzzled on a 2-year starter from Purdue, no arm. I run fast. Yeah, so it was his stats wise better. I actually thought that the Raiders were going to go Haener because the whole Fresno State connection. You know, Derek Carr was from Fresno State. Got him Derek Carr second round. I'm like, well, if Haener's there later in the rounds, maybe we take Haener, being a West Coast kid and stuff like that. But he actually went to New Orleans with Derek Carr. So the Fresno State connection there. Monkey Colt Coffee. While I'm on Monkey Colt Coffee here, let me go ahead and give them a shout out. There it is. All right. Join the cult, the evolution of flavor-infused coffee. Go to monkeycoltcoffee.com. Check out all their products. The chocolate chip infused, the bourbon chocolate chip infused coffee. Fantastic. I've had that. I got the toasted coconut rum, which is a new flavor. I got that in. Have not been able to try it yet. I plan on trying it tomorrow. I went to get a new coffee maker today because I'm like, I need a coffee maker. I want to try this stuff hot because I've been drinking it cold out of the Monkey Colt Coffee cold brew pitcher, and they did not have the coffee maker. I wasn't going to spend $130 on a coffee maker. I'm looking for a cheapo $30, $40 coffee maker. That's it. Nothing big, just a pot, filter, bingo, bango. So I'm going to go on the hunt again tomorrow, maybe head to the local Walmart. But yeah, so like I said, the two flavors of coffee they have right now, the bourbon chocolate chip infused, the toasted coconut rum. They also have mugs. They have the tumbler, which I just showed you on screen, some swag, T-shirts and stuff like that, the cold brew pitcher, and also a K-Cup adapter so you can use their ground coffee in your K-Cup machine. So head over to monkeycoltcoffee.com. Join the cult, and at checkout, make sure you enter the promo code OOTB Sports for a discount. Again, when you're checking out, there's going to be a coupon code section. Type in OOTB Sports to get a 10% discount at monkeycoltcoffee.com. Join the cult. Hey. So back to Aiden O'Connell real quick. Again, very not mobile at all. Does not have a very strong arm. And when I sit back and think about it now, actually, I just thought about this now. Jimmy G is somebody that does not have a very strong arm. He was near the bottom of the league in deep ball completion percentage and deep ball attempts. So, that's you get somebody like Devontae Adams, you're looking deeper routes and stuff like that. If we don't have a guy that can throw the goddamn deep ball, then everything's going to be intermediate. Maybe that's why we have DeAndre Carter, Trey Tucker, and Hunter Renfrow on the same damn team. 3 of the same player. Maybe we're just going to run all short routes and just, run crisscrosses all day. Maybe that's what we're going to do. I don't know. Like a Wes Welker, Danny Amendola type of gimmick or something. I don't know. Guys crossing, doing crisscrosses, bumping into each other. It's going to be the Keystone Cops out there. Michael said he struggled against the Big Ten top 10 teams, Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State. He went, I think, 2 for 22 for 35 yards one game with 4 interceptions last year versus either Michigan or Ohio State. You know what? I kind of remember that also. The 4 interceptions. I don't remember the 2 for 22 part of it, but I do remember he had quite a few picks to one game. I don't remember which team. I want to say Michigan, but I'm not 100% sure. So that pick, I give a D. I would have went somebody more mobile. I don't know who was out there yet. I think the kid from UCLA I don't know if he was still available or not, but he was. He had when I was reading up on him, when I was doing the quarterbacks, he was one of the 5 that were connected to the Raiders. When I was reading up on him, he was very mobile. Just didn't have a lot of experience at the quarterback position. He was more of a run-first quarterback than anything. So, but the Aiden O'Connell pick, I'm not super pumped about. So I give that a D. It was kind of a position of need, but not really. We could always look to next year. So I'm not. Yeah, he should take over the Garbers spot. That's what it should be. Let Garbers go somewhere, or Brian Hoyer. Why the hell are we bringing Brian Hoyer? Just thinking about it makes my stomach hurt. So on to the next pick, round 5. Christopher Smith, safety out of Georgia Bulldog. 5'11", 192. He had 6 interceptions the past 2 seasons. A little bit undersized for a safety. When your safety would be a little bit thicker. At 192 pounds, usually looking at your safeties almost as like undersized linebackers. But he did very well in the Georgia secondary. I mean, that Georgia defense was just awesome. The last couple seasons, national championships and all, did very well. He'll be competing with Marcus Epps, Trayvon Moehrig, and Rod Teamer. I do expect the Raiders run on a lot of nickel, so I do expect Christopher Smith to fill in. I was watching a little bit of highlight. I didn't get a chance to read into his profile too much. Just that he does well in covering. Was a very important piece of that defense at Georgia. So you can't really ask the Eagles. You really can't go wrong with a Georgia defender. So overall, I think I give that a C. I just wish I knew more about him. Head over to the comments real quick before I move on. Maiko says DTR Dorian Thompson-Smith was gone at that point. Okay. That's the kid from UCLA. Adam says, Rob, what's the score? Adam, stop it. Rob Hefner says Patriots 2.0. That's why Hoyer was brought in. Oh my God. And that's what it is. I did last week. I talked about how last week how there was like 12. I think it was 12 or 13 Patriots. Either former players or former staff on the team, which is the most. I think it was the most in the league from an opposite team on it's something like it was some sort of tongue twister. I'm not going to get into now because I'm really struggling with it. So but the Patriots, it was the most people from one team on another team. If that makes any sense, if it does, it does. If it doesn't, I don't know. Maiko says he's sorry for the typo. DTR was 5th round. O'Connell before DTR. Puzzling. Yeah, like I said, the only knock I really seen on the kid from UCLA was he didn't have a whole lot of experience. He's a little bit inexperienced, but a lot of stuff I did read on him was very positive. So I think I would have went that route more than anything. Rob says McDaniels suck up equals Hoyer. Maybe he's looking to get the offensive quality control job or something. I don't know. One of those small positions and gonna move his way up the coaching chain. So one day you can say he came from McDaniels' coaching tree. I don't know. Move on from Christopher Smith. Like I said, I give that a C. Like I said, I wish I just knew more about him. From everything I read, he did play well for Georgia and was pretty important. So. Round 6, Amari Burney, outside linebacker, Florida. Another position of need. So I was happy the Raiders went that route and didn't go for another fast wide receiver. So Amari Burney, 13 games last year, 79 tackles, 4 sacks, 9 tackles for loss, 2 interceptions, 2 forced fumbles. Pretty good season for Florida. He'll be competing with Robert Spillane, Devon Diablo, Luke Masterson, and Darian Butler. I like Diablo and Spillane. And again, we play a nickel, so you're usually only in there with 2 linebackers. So he also Bernie from what I read earlier also does well in coverage, which is a huge thing in nickel. Comment, there it is. Oh no, comments. There it is. Maiko says Chip Kelly offense at UCLA maybe hurt him. He has a deep arm and some ability to escape and run the RPO. Preach it, brother. Preach it. The Chip Kelly offense part might have hurt him, but I just it's coaches like McDaniels are so full of themselves, about their system and stuff like that. If there's a quarterback that didn't have any experience in a pro system, a pocket style passer, then they can't go after him. It's just they're full. It's their ego. They're full of themselves. That's usually what it is. Afraid to go out of the box. So that's probably a big part of it. So Amari Burney, a pretty good production last year for Florida. I think that was the first season he was a starter, and I don't think he started all three. I think he started 9 out of 13 games. I could be wrong about that. I can't remember if it was him I was reading about or not, but he was contemplating quitting football in high school, but decided to stick it out. And here he is, drafted in the 6th round. So good for him. I'm excited for that. I give this pick a C+. I was watching some film of him. He looked really impressive. So we'll see what happens with that. Being out of the 6th round, you don't expect a whole lot, but then everybody says, "Oh, Tom Brady." Yeah, but Tom Brady's 1 out of 1,000. Of kids picked, or 10,000. 1 out of 10,000 out of kids that were picked in the 6th round that made it. So I'm sure there's more that have made it. I just none come to mind except for always Tom Brady. That's the Tom Brady round or whatever. So we'll have to wait and see. And then finally, the last pick for the Raiders, Nesta Jade Silvera, defensive tackle, Arizona State. I dig the name, Nesta Jade, NJS, as it were. Nesta Jade, 6'2", 304, defensive tackle, not overly big, but a little bit of size. 56 tackles, 1.5 sacks, 4.5 tackles for loss. He was a top 50 recruit coming out of high school, so they're kind of hoping, from stuff that I read online, they're hoping that he's able to kind of find that old switch and able to flip it on and get back to his old self, and able to kind of recapture some of that magic, which made him a top 50 recruit. And so we'll have to wait and see on that. But I mean, the more defensive tackles, the better. Like I said, we really struggled with pressure with our defensive tackles, and there were times where we looked very bad in the run. So we took two defensive tackles in this draft. I'm cool with that. I'm happy with that. I was kind of bummed we didn't get any offensive linemen. Like I said earlier, there's the kid from Ohio State and that Zavala who were available when we took Trey Tucker, who probably would have been available later in the draft. That stuff is kind of puzzling to me. So it is what it is, I guess. So overall draft grade, I think I'll go with a B-. The Raiders, I'd say a strong B-. Just a couple of these picks kind of had me scratching my head. The Trey Tucker, not a super fan of that pick at that spot, and Aiden O'Connell. I think there are better quarterbacks out there. So yeah, that's a Josh McDaniels pick. That Aiden O'Connell, I think it reminds him probably a lot of his boy Jimmy G. So a bit of a bummer there. I think if they would have taken the kid from UCLA, Dorian something or rather, I think that might have kind of made me feel a little bit better about the Trey Tucker pick, but instead we get a statue with no arm. Hooray. But B minus overall, I think that's good compared to past seasons. Last year, McDaniels only had picks from the round I think third round on. So where he took Zamir White and his first pick in the third round was an offensive lineman whose name is escaping me right now. Anyway, doesn't matter. So he did, his first couple rounds this year, I thought he did well. Actually very good. Like I said, Tyree Wilson, I gave an A. Mayer, definitely an A. Byron Young, I gave a B. I like that pick up there. And then after that, Trey Tucker, and it was kind of a head scratcher. So McDaniels kind of shit the bed after that. Then there was a lot of like wheeling and dealing. Like I said, the Raiders moved up to get some guys. So they started off with 12 picks. They ended with 9 picks. So I'll go to this now. Chandler Jones restructures his contract. Let me pull that up real quick. I did read it, but I don't remember what it said because I'm slow-witted and my mind is gelatinous. Chandler Jones contract. So he frees up some cap space with his contract restructuring. According to RaidersWire.com, just hours after the Raiders added pass rusher Tyree Wilson to the defense, they made a move to clear cap space by restructuring the contract of the guy whom Wilson could split time with this season. Says Chandler Jones has restructured his deal to free up over $5 million in cap space for the Raiders. Also, Christian McCaffrey and the 49ers restructured their deal to create $8.5 million. So this is the kind of money that they could use to sign their draft class as well as any free agents they wish to in the offseason. It says, as it stood, they were just shy of having enough money to sign their draft class. With their available cap space coming into it, it was about $1 million they needed to find, which is pretty easy in terms of restructures. So that's what our boy Chandler Jones did for us. After giving us 4 sacks last season and a bunch of disappointment, he's able to free up $5 million for us by restructuring his contract with the Raiders. Thank you, Chandler. I talked about Hunter Renfrow. I do think he's going to get traded. When? I don't know. I'd assume before the season sometime. I couldn't see it going into the season being a trade deadline deal. Join the cult. There it is. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. Now, what we can get for him, I'd expect it to be picks. You're not going to get anything significant. I'd probably figure like maybe 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, somewhere in that area. I wouldn't expect it to be a top 3 round pick. Unless we could send him to the Cowboys and kind of, pull the wool over their eyes, like we did with Amari Cooper and getting a first rounder out of them. Hey, we would have let him go for a 3rd rounder. So that's all I got on that. On the Raiders, like I said, a B minus for their draft. Overall I was happy, but couple head scratchers. The mayor says Chandler Jones restructuring his contract is the best thing he did for this team. Yeah, like I said, he did have some pretty good games last year. That didn't show up on the stat sheet where he was putting pressures on, but for the most part, there were a lot of clunkers mixed in there, which is not what you expect out of a guy you gave a lot of money to, and who was supposed to be one of the top tier rushers after we let go of Yannick Ngakoue, who I still was hoping the Raiders would sign. Now with the Raiders drafting Tyree Wilson, I don't think that they'll sign Yannick Ngakoue. I don't think they'd be able to afford him after reading the whole restructuring and not enough money to assign the draft class. But yeah. And so that's another thing. I don't know what the cap hit would be if we traded away Renfrow or any wheelings and dealings with that. If that would free anything up, I don't know. Because we did sign him to a deal. I think last season, I think it was, or was it the end of the season before? But fairly recently, we re-signed Renfroe after, I think it was after his Pro Bowl season. The talent's there with Hunter. I just don't think McDaniels likes him. So we'll move on from the Raiders to the Golden Knights here. Golden Knights dominate Jets in Game 5. I believe it was a 5-1 win. Let me double check here. Was it 4-1? 4-1 win for the Golden Knights. Closed them out, and it was basically I think it was mostly their stars that showed up to that game. Stevenson, Mark Stone, Laurent Brossoit was fantastic again. I feel like that whole first round he was good, except for the first game they lost 5-1, and then game 3 I think it was 5-4. But for the most part, Laurent Brossoit has been very, very good. The Stevenson had 2 goals. Mark Stone had 3 points, 1 goal, 2 assists. Carlson, 1 goal. What was the box score here? Check out Laurent Brossoit's save percentage here. That's a lot of fun to say. Laurent Brossoit. Frenchy poo. 29 out of 30 saves. So, 967 save percentage. Fantastic for Laurent Brossoit. He's holding it down pretty well. Like I said before, I think Jonathan Quick, who they picked up at the trade deadline from Columbus, who the Kings traded to Columbus. I don't even think he's technically on the roster. I don't know how they word it, but you have 2 dressed goalies. I think it's of course Brossoit. I think it's Aiden Hill is their backup that's dressed. And I think Quick might be the extra, or if there's 2 injuries to your goalies, you could call down the guy out of the stands, like you see teams do. Like he was a UPS driver just yesterday. Now he's playing in goal for this team, and he had a shutout or something. It's one of those. I think it's one of those deals. I could be wrong. Toronto Maple Leafs advance with win over Tampa. Good. I don't know what I had. I did have my bracket here earlier. I don't remember who I had in that. I think I probably took Toronto, but I'm not 100% sure. 4-1, my old tired ass fell asleep. Celeste woke me up towards the end. Getting old sucks ass. Oh my God, yeah. Absolutely sucks ass. We're not spring chickens anymore, Robert. Adam Glenn, especially 44 years old. Holy cow. Yeah, he's Adam Glenn's not a spring chicken. So the Vegas Golden Knights move on to round 2. They close out the Jets in that last game, 4-1. And for the most part, like I said, a fairly dominant series. That first game, they were kind of surprised by Jets coming out. The Jets were playing fairly well coming into the series. I did a series. I don't want to say pregame, but I did a pre-show for the series, and Winnipeg was coming in fairly hot because they were battling for that last spot with Calgary, and Calgary was starting to play better at the end of the season, whereas Winnipeg was playing like garbage, and they had quite a few points ahead of Calgary, and also they played like garbage. Calgary caught back up they were within a game, I believe. I think 2 points, and Winnipeg they turned it on. Connor Hellebuck was playing fantastically down the stretch, offensively doing pretty well. So game 1 5-1, that was the clunker. But then game 2 they came back out, win 5-2. Game 3 in 2 overtimes, they were able to win that one 5-4. Game 4 4-2, again another decent game in net for Brossoit. And then, able to close them out 4-1. I think the addition of Mark Stone with him coming back really gave him a boost. Just to get your big guy back, your captain. I think he's the captain. I'm pretty sure. But he's their offensive go-to guy from everything I read. Coming into the series. Again, if you don't know, I'm actually a Kings fan, but since I do the Vegas sports scene, I talk about the Vegas Golden Knights. I do root for the Vegas Golden Knights. I'm unless next series the Kings will be playing against them, then it's going to be all Kings all the time. But I have a feeling I'm going to get my heart ripped out tonight. Being up 3-0 in the first period, and looking to maybe we can go up 3-2 on them. Wasn't good. No, that was the game before. We would have went up 3 games to. Was it 3-1 then? But no, they came back and whatever it was, it wasn't good, and we haven't played well since losing the last game 6-3. Anyway, Stone is the captain. That's what I thought. So the Vegas Golden Knights are playing very, very well. Like I said, closing out the Jets 4-1 like they should be. The Golden Knights are the top seed in the West. The Jets will be the bottom seed in the West. If you want 1 through 8, and so they should have beaten them fairly, not easy, but 4-1. So moving forward, who are the Jets going to see in the second round? Well, it's either going to be the Kings or the Oilers, but because they're in the Pacific Division with the Golden Knights, and I've been singing the praises of the Oilers for so long now. Just offensively, so good, and Stuart Skinner was playing well, but the Kings got to him quite a bit this series. It's kind of exposed him for what he was earlier in the season. He and Jack Campbell. Jack Campbell was able to come in. The one game Stuart Skinner was benched. That's the game that they went down 3-0 early and actually came back to win 5-4 in overtime. And that's the Oilers over the Kings. But they went back to Skinner for game 2, and the Kings and Edmonton won 6-3. And they just jumped all over the Kings early, all over Korpisalo. He ended up getting benched. So moving forward, who are the Golden Knights going to play? Who are the Golden Knights going to play in round 2? I want to see them play the Kings in round 2, but I'm not 100% sold on that. I stifle myself to say I think it's going to be the Oilers, but who would the Vegas Golden Knights want to see in round 2? I think the Vegas Golden Knights would want to see the Kings. I feel like they've handled the Kings fairly well this season, especially earlier in the season. I believe, if I remember correctly, I feel like the Golden Knights kind of had to one-up on the Kings. Then as they played each other a little bit later in the season, the Kings were able to one-up a couple on them. But near the end of the season when they played again, it was all Golden Knights early and often. I don't remember what the final to that game was. If it was like 5-1 or 5-2 or something like that. They jumped up at like 5-0 right away, and it got ugly. So if I'm the Vegas Golden Knights, I'd rather see the Kings than the Oilers because that offense for the Oilers is just absolutely insane. Watching them play, Connor McDavid is every bit as good as they say he is, and he's physical. Draisaitl's a dickhead. I'll shout that from the mountaintops. And you know what? If he was here in the back cave here, I'd tell it right to his face too. I'm not afraid of him. I'd grab this hockey puck right here, my LA Kings hockey puck. I'd throw it at him first. I won't throw my Hojo baseball, my Howard Johnson signed baseball. I wouldn't throw that because I love Howard Johnson, and he gave a shout out to the back cave on the ball. So I'm cool with Howard Johnson. I wouldn't throw the ball at him, but I'd throw my LA Kings puck. Right here it is. I would throw this right at Draisaitl's face, and then maybe I'll hit him with a couple of these dugout mugs or something. I don't know, but I'd tell him right to his face. I think he's a dickhead. Eileen says, "Boo Oilers," and then she laughs at me. Oh, it's a fact. He's scared no Draisaitl. Rob Hefner says, "I actually want to see a Game 7 for the Kings." So do I. It's a fun series. It was a fun series last season, Kings and Oilers. So I'm hoping it goes to Game 7. But like I said, I'm not really all that confident in it. Connor McDavid was being compared to the next Wayne Gretzky. You can see it. You absolutely can see it. The talent's there. I think he's 7 or 8 seasons in already. I didn't feel like it was that long, but I guess it is because they were saying, Crosby won his by this time and this guy won his by this time, blah, blah, blah. Speaking of Gretzky, I was just watching on Disney Plus the other day. They had the special from ESPN, King's Ransom, where they talk about Gretzky going from the Oilers to the Kings and the whole process, what happened behind the scenes and stuff. really interesting stuff. Eileen says you are just so entertaining, and it's free entertainment. There's no tax. This is free entertainment for you. You're paying your power bill, but don't look at it that way. This is tax-free entertainment for you, the people, the out of the box sports nation. Rob Hefner said it was neat to see Connor McDavid play against the Golden Knights here. Oh, you went? Oh, that's right. You did tell me you went to see him play. I'd love to see Connor McDavid play. I think he's a fantastic player. Like I said, big physical guy. Just watching him skate up the ice is so impressive. Big dude, and he just puts on the jets and he just goes. And so his moves are mind-boggling. And Draisaitl's a dickhead. So, Darnell Nurse, very good. Evander Kane, again, there's another guy. He's good. Yamamoto's son, very good. Actually, I think he's from Canada. I could be wrong. So that Oilers team is just stacked, and like I said, I don't have confidence the Kings are gonna be able to close them out or come back in the series. But before I move on here, I'm gonna do this here real quick. So I coach a 14U girls travel softball team. And if you don't know what a travel softball team is, basically it's a team that you try out for. There's usually cuts, and it's a team that does travel. It's a travel softball team. They travel. They play tournaments, travel different areas and stuff like that. Usually around the state. You can go out of state and stuff. The group of girls you see in these pictures, they've pretty much been together since day one. Which this is I think our fourth season. It's our first year at 14U, and so we don't do many cuts. We do have tryouts, and usually it's like one girl we'll bring in maybe, but usually there's no cuts. That's not a fun part of doing this. It's not why we do it. We do it to teach so the girls to get better, good sportsmanship, learn how to play together, be able to pick each other up. And stuff like that, and just learn how to be leaders and stuff. But anyway, the cost of like tournaments are rising. The cost of equipment is rising. We do in the wintertime we practice indoors, and that stuff is going up every season. So we're just looking for a little bit of help. And if you're interested in donating, reach out to me through Messenger or Maiko Spencer, Paul Spencer, and we'll hook you up with our Venmo handle. So you can donate, like I said, $1, $5, $10, $20. It doesn't really matter. Every little bit helps. Like I said earlier, I think it was yesterday when I was talking about this, the cost of balls is astronomical. For a dozen softballs, 12-inch softballs, it's like $100, over $100. We actually got a dozen. We actually just paid for a dozen recently. We got them from China, and you can tell they're from China, and they're like $65, the cheaper side. So they're not the greatest balls, but they do the job for practice. And we also do scrimmaging, so we're also paying umpire fees, field maintenance, and stuff like chalk and quick drive for the field. All that stuff costs money. So if you're interested in helping, reach out to us, and everything, every little is much appreciated. Also, check out another one of our great sponsors, Jason Fine, J Fine Law, attorney Big Al. You can reach him at 1-800-HURT-123, 1-800-HURT-123, now with 3 locations. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 1628 JFK Boulevard, Suite 2120, in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Also, check them out at Cherry Hill, New Jersey, not the city of brotherly love there. 3 Greensward Lane at Cherry Hill, New Jersey, 08002. The phone number there is 856-209-5258. Or you can go to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Reach out to our boy Maiko at 500 Grant Street, Suite 2900, Pittsburgh, PA 15219. The phone number there is 412-365-8151. Call Jason 24/7 directly at 267-962-4895 or Paul at 267-303-7324 for a free consultation. That's Jason Fine, J Fine Law, attorney Big Al at 1-800-HURT-123, 1-800-HURT-123. Man, I miss saying Big Al. That was always my favorite part when Rob and I were doing shows, and I'd be doing the sponsors at the end. I'm like, Big Al. And that's it. The city of brotherly love is, I miss that. So I'm glad I get to do that again. Props to Maiko Spencer, Paul Spencer here with the new duds we got here on the Vegas Sports Scene. All of our other shows, new backdrops and stuff like that, looking really sweet. I love the logo there with the half of the Raider, half the Raider face and half of the Golden Knights helmet there. Great stuff. I love the Batcave. If you didn't see the Batcave yet, let me pop that up there. Hopefully I don't mess everything up here. The Batcave's fantastic. I don't know where it's at now. I lost the Batcave. Oh, there it is. Batcave. There's the Batcave. That's one of the Batcaves. There's also another Batcave. Where is it at? Oh, I can't find it. But anyway, it's fantastic. I love it. Michael's doing a hell of a job. Oh, here it is. Look at that. Isn't that handsome? You got Alonzo. His suit's there waiting for him. You got Angie Kopitar. His suit's waiting for him. Hopefully he has it on right now against the Boot Oilers. And then there's my suit. I have that on right now. I'm going to put it back in there in a couple minutes to get off the show here and watch the Kings throttle the Oilers, hopefully. But yeah, that's good stuff. I put the Vegas Sports Scene back up here. There we go. And I'm back. All right, so that's all I got for tonight. I appreciate everybody checking in and commenting. You guys make the show. Without you, it'd just be me talking to myself, looking at myself, talking about something that nobody wants to hear about. But you guys, you come on here, you comment, give me something to banter back and forth with. Funny, serious. It's all whatever. All comments are, I wouldn't say all comments. Most comments are read. If it's something nonsensical or spam or something like that, I'm not going to post it and read it. But, the normal stuff, I'll put on there. I'll give you a shout out. I'll read it. So if you're just watching the show, lurking in the back somewhere, you don't want to comment, throw it up there. There's nothing, just say hello. That's, so make sure you follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. Make sure you like, follow, and please, for the love of God, subscribe to the YouTube page. Follow us on Twitter. All the shows have a Twitter page, I believe. Also follow Out of the Box Sports on Twitter. You can see my Twitter handle. It's kind of hard to see right there. It's at LV_sports_OOTBS. That's at LV_sports_OOTBS. Let me go to the show page here before I do get off. The next show coming up here on the Out of the Box Sports is Monday at 8 p.m. The Joystick Junkies. Tuesdays 8 p.m. Extra Innings. Great baseball show. Wednesdays 10 a.m. You'll have me again, the Bat Cave. I'll be on talking. Hopefully I'll be on there talking about the Kings moving on to the next round. Because the game, if there is a Game 7, that should be probably Monday. Anyway, and also of course talking Mets, who have not been looking all that great. Wednesdays also at 6:30. You have Dem 215 boys. I'm sure they'll be talking draft this Wednesday. Wednesday at 8 p.m. you have College Football Frenzy also. Thursdays at 8 p.m. 4for4 Locker Room Podcast. Thursdays at 10 p.m. Fight Club 215. Fridays at 8 p.m. The Big Blue Power Hour. And of course, Saturdays at 10 p.m. you get my lovely mug here with the Vegas Sports Scene. All great shows. Like I said, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube. We're on the Instagram. We're on the TikTok. So we're everywhere. We're everywhere and then some. Everywhere and then some. We're everywhere where you want to be. We're beyond the velvet rope. No reservation needed. We're not on the list. We make the list. Whatever the hell that means. All right, so that's all I got. Go Knights. Hopefully it's the Kings that they play in the next round. If it is, it's going to be an interesting show on Saturday nights. So go Knights. Go Raiders. Just win, baby. And That's all I got. I'm out. See you Wednesday morning. Check out the Bat Cave Wednesday morning, 10 a.m. Peace.